this week's episode, we catch up and discuss getting older and talk to Braden Bumpers on McClintock Distilling.
There's a prophet on a mountain and he's making up dinner with long vision and a riding crop. Anybody can feel like a winner when it's served up piping hot. But the people aren't looking for a handout. They're America's working core. Can this be what they voted for? Let them eat more. Let them eat more. That's how to ration the poor. Let them eat more. Let them eat more. There's an urgent need to feed declining pride. From the force to the union shops, the war economy is making new jobs. But the people who benefit most are breaking bread with their benevolent hosts who never sold from the rich to give to the poor. All he ever gave to them was a war and a foreign enemy to deplore. Let them eat more. Let them eat more. That's how to ration the poor. Let them eat more. Let them eat more. There's an urgent need to feed declining pride. We've got to kill them and eat them before they reach for their checks. Squeeze some blue collars, make them bleed from their necks. Seize a few dollars from the people who sweat. 'Cause it's freedom or death, and they won't question it. At a job site, the boss is godlike. Conditioned workhorses park at a stoplight. Seasoned vets with their feet in nets. A stone's throw away from a rock fight, but not tonight. Feed them death. Here comes another ration. Feed them death. 'Cause they're the finest in the nation. Feed them death. But it's nothing that to feed them with. It's freedom, but instead let them eat more. Let them eat more. That's how to ration the poor. Let them eat more. Let them eat more. There's an urgent need to feed.
Welcome in once again to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, coming at you live from downtown Mattersville at the Vicious Pig Saloon. This is your one-stop shop for everything punk rock and food. And now, your hosts, Steve Guerrero, Skate Rat Betty, Brian Reinhardt, and the asshole in charge, Xander T.
And that was Bad Religion with Let Them Eat War. And this is Punk Rock Foodies Radio. And I am the asshole in charge of Punk Rock Foodies, Xander T. And with me today at the Vicious Pig Saloon is...
What's up, everybody? Steve Guerrero here.
Hey, it's Skate Rat Betty. Brian Reinhardt.
Always get you two confused.
I know.
Yeah. So it's been a while. We haven't been here. We've finally won our negotiations with the Vicious Pig Saloon, and
Our temporary ban has been lifted.
we are now allowed to get a dozen wings, half hot, half barbecue.
Man, you drive a hard bargain, man.
It was a contentious debate, but this one election went the right way. Oh, man.
So yes,
It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. I miss this place.
I do too, man. I do too. Let's get around to drinks in here.
A couple sweaty Mexicans would be good, eh?
So our taco truck's going to be on every corner because I was told that they were going to be on every corner, and I got really excited.
I would love a taco truck right now.
Well, there were going to be taco trucks on every corner if the other person had won. I think is what it was.
That's right. I think
we're
everything out.
So I think we're screwed in that avenue too, as opposed including every other way we're screwed.
It happens. 4 years. 2 years.
Well, yeah, maybe.
See.
We'll see.
Well, But
We'll save
we
the
are
punk
not a
rock politics.
political.
Yeah, we'll save the punk rock politics for somebody else.
There's our politics
Yeah.
demo for the day.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
are actually a food show. We're actually a food thing. That's the punk rock foodies aspect, the food.
That's why he played Let Them Eat War, so people could remember.
But if you don't know, if you just stumbled upon us and haven't heard any of the other previous 60 episodes, we are a radio show based on the awesome Facebook group Punk Rock Foodies.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You make food, you post a picture of the food. It's pretty simple.
Sometimes you argue with an admin.
Sometimes admins argue with you as an admin.
Yeah.
Brian.
What do you mean? I don't remember. Did I yell at you one
Because
time?
I kicked that person out, and you're like,
Oh.
put it back, you shithead.
Yeah.
What? I don't know who the hell they are.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was really drunk. Yeah, Tammy needs to not do that. I called her. I was like, dude, you can't do that. She's been in Punk Rock Foodies for 3 years, and she fucks up like that. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. So I set her straight.
That's fine. I didn't take it personally. I assumed drinking was involved, and it was after the election too. So I assumed
the 2 weeks after that were pretty. It was a pretty dark 2 weeks around here. Pretty dark 2 weeks.
Well, so So the thing is, you make food and you post a picture, and if you're posting other shit, you'll more than likely get booted out. Unless you're friends with Brian,
and I get the question all the time, and the answer is because Facebook does limit somewhat our picture space, and that's the simplest explanation, and it's just easier for everybody else.
Well, and the idea is we don't, nobody needs to see your advertisements for your band. I mean, maybe people might want to see it, but there's the rest of the internet for that.
Yeah.
We just want to keep it simple. It's about the food.
Dude, most of these dumbass posts on Facebook, just go start a blog. I mean, if you are really that opinionated, go start a blog where somebody else can give a shit, because on Facebook, it's just dudes, all the fun's been taken out of it with this fucking 2016. It's really done my social media prowess.
And you can, in your post, you can actually list what you're listening to along with all the stuff. There's a little function that lets you say you're listening to this, which is a nice little tool, and it's unobtrusive. So,
a nice little tool.
It's a nice little tool.
A nice little tool. Unlike my favorite tool,
Steve?
Ben Weasel.
Oh, yeah. There's a Jughead from Screeching Weasel is turning 50 in February, and he's been going overseas for the last few years because he has a long white beard now, and he's playing like a wizard at the Harry Potter thing out in Japan. It's like the coolest thing ever. It's fucking awesome. So he comes back every winter back to Chicago, and he's having his 50th birthday party, this big, huge show at this punk club called Reggie's, and the Manges and Lillingtons are playing, and the Mopes, and all of his bands, and a bunch of the guys from Screeching Weasel are all going to get together and play Screeching Weasel songs without fucking Ben Weasel, because fuck that fucking guy. He's out there touring, pretending he's Screeching Weasel, but no, that's just Ben Weasel and a bunch of assholes. I will be going to Jughead's party and hanging out with him and Dan Vapid and Lumley and those guys, and hearing the actual musicians.
Yes, and we should try to get Jughead at least after the event to discuss how it was. See what he remembers. We'll know what you remember, and it'll be interesting to put the stories together.
Absolutely. And he also, coincidentally, Jughead has a series of YouTube videos where he breaks down every Screeching Weasel album.
I've been watching some of those.
Very cool, because the further along it goes, the more, and he tries to stay out of it, but you could tell it's getting worse and worse with Ben and the band, and he's trying to rise above it, but eventually he's going to get to the point where Ben just ruins the band and then kicks everybody out. So,
right.
But it is a pretty cool series of videos. So, shout out to my man Jughead.
And of course, your town of Chicago, which is always big. Which do you have a Chicago band you'd like to listen to right now?
Oh, is it my turn?
Sure.
Okay. How about Riverdale's Out of Sight?
All right, and we'll come back and
shouldn't be long. It's like a minute-long
Radio.
song. I think it's less than a minute.
They all are.
Yeah.
Miguel from Teenage Bottle Rocket, and you're listening to Punk Rock Foodie Radio.
10-second videos, one-man reality show. This is the future we dreamed about. The modern world is so strange to me. I really miss playing on TV. Look at me now, staring at this phone, living in a digital twilight zone. Lost in the future, glued to the past. Used to be cool, social outcast. No idea what it's like to be alive without this technology. And 10-second videos, one more reality show. This is the future we dreamed about. Feel like I live in a big flat screen. Quality's good, but it's way too clean. I want some soul, it's just not enough. There's too many wires getting all crossed up. I'm lost in the future, glued to the past. Used to be cool, social outcast. Trying to find where the real world is in a chaos of hectic blinking bits and 10-second videos. One big reality show. This is the future we dreamed about. 10-second videos. You won't need a password code. This is the future. Live it all. Let's live it all.
Can't go wrong.
All right. All right.
Leave that in.
Blunt was a little harsh there. All right, that was Bouncing Souls with a new one off their new album. That one's called Digital Twilight Zone. I fucking love that song, and it's just so true to the Bouncing Souls song where they're just fucking jamming to that fucking bass lines underneath. Oh, it's just good shit, man.
I have not heard the new album. Is it good?
It's the Bouncing Souls. It's what you'd expect from them. There's some really good numbers on there. There's some ones that even the filler ones are pretty cool, you know. So, and a lot of the songs are kind of cool because there's a couple short ones on there, like minute long. So, I think everybody's getting into the fast and loud phase.
The reason I love Bouncing Souls is their songs are so singable. Like their choruses, you just want to sing.
Very melodic.
Oh yeah, their anthems do. They even have a song called Anthem, but their songs are singable anthems.
It's called Manthem.
They do it. Manthem, yeah, that's right. I even said it. It is called Manthem.
It's hard to go to a Bouncing Souls soul show and not have a good time because they're such a good fun band to see, and I love seeing them live. They're great.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fucking miss them. They're coming out my way with Off With Their Heads and Masked Intruder on a Friday night. On a Friday night.
That'd be a great show.
But I can't go. I'm so pissed.
You got the girls, or?
Yeah. But that's fine. You know, kids first.
Yeah, I tried to get to the Flatliners show last Friday with Left Alone and a couple other good bands, but yep, couldn't make it. Daddy duty calls.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, so
but we know Brian loves going and being the old guy in the punk pit, so you know.
Yeah. That's right. So did you guys get your Kwanzaa trees up yet, or what?
Yep. The Kwanzaa bush is lit and warm.
Yeah, it is lit, fam.
It's my pagan sensitive pine tree. That's what I call it.
Yeah, we put ours up last night, actually. So
I put mine up the Friday after Thanksgiving and do it like that every year. It's kind of because it was like a family tradition. We would go to hunting camp after Thanksgiving because opening day of hunting season was Monday, and every time we'd come back, that's what my mom would be doing the whole weekend. So it's just become a thing. Friday after Thanksgiving, put it up, and you take it down on January 1st. None of this bullshit Christmas lights up through April bullshit.
Yeah.
That's why you have the day off. Hangover to take lights down. But so, you know, you haven't been here in a while, and because there's been so many things going on. You know, Skate Rat had the baby. That's another reason why she's not here right now. And you know, my daughter had made a new soccer team and had this whole new training schedule. And Brian got married.
I know, what the fuck?
That. So, you know, we've just been kind of... Steve's been, banging out jobs left and right, too, with Burning Road Studios.
Trying.
So...
Hustling.
So it's just,
He's a hustler.
we really been, away for real personal reasons. But the big thing
Because
is,
surprisingly, we have to do other things to make money. We don't make money with this shit.
we don't. You can't pay
That
your
might
bills.
surprise you.
Can't pay your bills in likes and shares. You know.
No. I mean, every once in a while we get some King's Hawaiian barbecue sauce, but you can't pay a mortgage with that shit.
No.
It's good, but it ain't that good.
But, shout out to King's Wine.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to order some more of that pineapple stuff. Yeah.
So, Brian, tell us about your wedding, son, since, none of us were invited.
Sorry about that. Hey, nobody out of state got invited. Like, nobody. I had people getting mad at me. I'm like, dude, we had 170 people or something, and initially we just wanted like 40 or 50. It got way too big, man. We're going to be paying it off for a while.
Damn.
Like, we're pretty poor right now. So, like, I'm literally going to go to the store and buy some ramen noodles. So, because it was $4,000 just for the drinks, just for the booze.
Ooh.
But we drank probably that much. I mean, we almost ran out. We represented. So, but it was good, man. It was good.
So imagine if Steve and I were there.
Yeah. Oh my god. I would have got an extra case of zombie dust.
There we go.
And then you got married actually the night that the Cubs won the World Series.
It was the night they clinched to go to the World Series.
Oh, that's right. That was
so
Game 7.
my
That's
reception. Right. There was the big reception hall, and there's a tiny little bar adjacent to it that was closed, but there was a TV, and somebody went over there, turned the TV on. So Game 6 is going on in the next room. So we're all dancing, and periodically I'd go over there and take a peek. And the last out, we were all over there watching, and trying to not let Sheena see that because she would have been pissed. But she knew. She knew what was up. But once that was over, we all came back and we're just dancing. I've never done so much dancing. White folks were dancing that night, kids. Let me tell you, white folks were dancing.
So, what kind of food did you have at the wedding?
We had fried chicken. We had fried chicken. We also had like some sliced prime rib and stuff like that. But it was all about the fried chicken, baby. It was all about the fried chicken.
You did buffet style.
It was buffet. It was like family style. It was like family style, which that's the best way to go. I think you guys would agree. Either buffet style or family style is the best way at any wedding.
Oh man, I'm doing plated.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Because here's the thing. Here's what we figured out. The cost-wise, it's practically the same because if you do plated, then you know specifically how much of each item there is. If you do buffet, they got to make enough so they don't run out. So you're going to have a bunch of leftover shit.
That's why we didn't do buffet. That's what we with the family style. It was kind of in between. So we ended up pretty much eating all of it. But yeah, buffet, if you do buffet, a lot of that does go to waste. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we're doing plated, but it is kind of family style. We're just having one dish.
Well, yeah, they're bringing big.
This is what you get. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that works.
But
it was fun, man. And I asked the DJ. I said, "Look, I got to hear Rancid Time Bomb." And I told all the guys in my wedding party, I'm like, "When you hear Rancid Time Bomb, everybody's going to go out there and jump around." And they did, and it was fun. So it was a good time. The hotness, she said yes. So that was an upset. We weren't sure how that was going to go.
Ah, damn! But, I owe you a Coke, Steve.
But yeah, it was good. And my ring is too big. I need to get it fitted, man. It's too big.
You know what?
I wash my hands, it like falls off.
Just drink more beer and eat more pasta, and soon
I'm
it'll
working
fit.
on it, dude. Believe me, I am working on that. It's not easy.
Remember, my wedding ring flew off. One time I had lost a bunch of weight, and I went and I pointed, and my ring just went flying right off my finger, and I was like, shit.
But you found it.
Yeah, and then I got divorced.
Oh, okay. That was a sign.
It all worked out. Yeah, but so Steve, what have you been up to, man?
Just besides life with 3 kids and the wife, doing a little bit of work. Got a project that I'm working on right now for Useless ID, doing their video for How to Dismantle an Atom Bomb, which I personally think is one of the best songs of 2016.
Haven't you played that on the show before?
I believe I have. Yeah. It's been a little
Sounds
while.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's cool. Yotam was in town about a week ago, and we shot it on location. Had like a few cameras on there, and I'm just putting some graphics and some editing some other footage in there. And it should be out soon, man. It should be cool. I'm really fired up on how it's going to turn out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, I don't have any musical inclination, so I don't play a guitar, or I've never played in a band, but you know, doing these videos kind of gives me a chance to kind of, you know, help these guys visualize what their songs are about, and that's always a good, fun chance, especially when you're working with a cool band and you like their music a lot. It becomes a really kind of cool collective project in terms of trying to get this. Trying to get something really dynamic, really impactful, and really cool out there, so people can get fired up, not just on the song, but on the visuals that come with it too. So
nice, man. Well, when it comes out, put it out there, and I'll share it, man. Let some people see it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it should be out in a couple weeks, probably mid-December, if not earlier.
I couldn't imagine doing what you do if you ended up being with like a shitty band, or like just like even okay, maybe they're the nicest guys, or they play shitty music, like you can't stand the music, or even worse, like you like the music, but then they're like the worst fucking people to deal with. Like it would just be like such a shitty gig.
I had a project like that, and I kind of feel bad because me and my buddy had a kind of a falling out, and I haven't talked to him since, but he came at me and asked me to do a video for his new band that he's doing, and the song was good. It wasn't the greatest. It was a little too poppy for me, but he was my buddy, so I wanted to help him out, and he gave me the footage to work with, and it was just so bad, and they wanted these like less than 1 second cuts, and it's like, dude, there's no way you can do that with this, because you got one camera on the guy. Actually, there was 2 takes on the lead singer, and one of those takes was fucked up because the guy kept putting his GoPro right in the guy's face, so but it made both takes unusable. So there's little fucking inventory of the lead singer to use shots of, and you want all these shots for like a 2.5 minute song. It's impossible to cut that, you know. It's just so.
Yeah.
I went back to him over email. I said, hey man, it's, you know, this is kind of what I got going right now. It's going to be hard to make these shots. I must have worded something, but him and the band got all butthurt, and they're like, oh, well, you know, we didn't like what you said, and you know, I'm like, well, fuck, dude, you guys shot. I mean, you guys were fucking around and trying to shoot a video, and you guys didn't take it serious. I can't polish a turd that shiny. You know?
This is my job, man. I'm the professional. They got to listen to you. You're the director.
It's just, some people got sensitive skin, man. It's you know.
Well, and then when you're dealing with artists too, that's the thing.
Yeah. So it was a learning lesson for me, you know. But I did collect money up front, so at least I didn't get. And they asked for it back. I'm like, dude, I put in, you know, a bunch of hours of work, man. I mean, that was kind of the deal. So. Yeah, it's just sometimes you get kind of taken advantage doing some of the, you know, things I do, like logo design and videos. But for the most part, I love working with the bands I work with. You know, Yotam said that he's going to show this video to Fat Mike as soon as it's done. So who knows? Maybe awesome. I can get some Fat Rex videos next year. That'd be killer.
Nice.
That'd be badass.
Man, then the family, they could start traveling and come out and visit everybody. Get out of Southern California for a few weeks.
Yeah, I got to shoot a No Effects video in Chicago. It's really weird, you know. Got to do it though. Got to be on location.
Listen, Mike, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
This place called Three Floyds.
We're going to be in Munster, Indiana. It's only about 45 minutes from Chicago. It's not that far.
Well, dude, you guys would be really stoked to hear this. I wasn't able to go because we had to go to a wedding, I believe, the same day. But there was a festival called Yeast Scallywag, and it was down here in San Diego, out in like the Bay. And dude, it was a craft beer and punk rock festival with like Real Big Fish, Bad Religion, and No Effects as a headliner.
Wow. I saw the ads for that, and I was like, son of a bitch, that looks badass.
From some of my friends that went, they said it was amazing, dude. And the guy that helped put that on puts on the Brujojos, which are like the biggest beer festivals out here in Orange County, and even in Southern California for that matter. And I hope he kind of does some more punk stuff. You know, I hope you know, there's a spring punk rock and craft beer festival I can look forward to, because that would be killer.
Yeah, man, those mediums, those go together real well. There's a small brewery near me called 350 Brewing that has kind of like a punk vibe, and every year they have a festival, but it's not nearly that big. They have like MXPX and Smoking Popes and Masked Intruder, nothing as big as Bad Religion, but and all their beers are punk themed.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet.
Dude, I if we could pull something off like a punk rock foodies kind of winter kind of fest with like some acoustic punk rock folk style, like some big stouts. Oh, that would be insane. Maybe next year. But that would be. I'd love to have that kind of event to be able to attend.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Punk rock goes good with
Acoustic punk, like a ukulele, like a uke hunt kind of thing.
Ukulele.
Xander could bring his uke, and Grant could bring his guitar.
Yeah, John Ho in the house.
Dude, he posted the other day. He hasn't posted a picture in like ever, and then he just posted a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
He's such a cool dude. I mean,
sweet.
he's such a nice guy. He's just out there, but he's such a nice guy, man.
Yeah, he is. He's a good dude. Shout out there, John Ho, Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant McIver. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. And I hear he's getting his shit together too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. We all got to do it eventually.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know I had to.
Yeah.
Well, fuck this. Let's break out some songs, man. I'm fucking getting fired up, man. This is fucking
Yeah, it's your turn,
in
Xander.
the house.
What are we even talking about this week?
Well, we don't know. We haven't been here for so long. We forgot how to do it. But you know what? Let's listen to some Fear. This is
old school.
This is I Don't Care About You on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
What up? Fletcher from Pennywise. You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Eat some shit.
You guys just heard Land of Idiocracy by Useless ID, which is their first song off their new album, and that's a good one too. And eventually we'll talk about the best songs of 2016, but I'll save that for another episode. But yeah, dude, Useless ID, that fucking record just goes off. I love it. So, but yeah, that was a show I went to recently. It was fun. It's totally different going to shows now. I
bit.
bought myself a coffee before I headed out to the show because I heard they're going to. I left my house at like 9. It's a 45-minute drive to downtown LA, and then when I was leaving, I heard that they weren't going on until like 11:30, maybe 12. So I'm like, well, fuck, dude, I need a coffee because I'm gonna be fucking tired. But I still got my ass out there and, had some fun, and it was a great show. It's always good being in a punk show, Wish I could just put all that energy in a fucking mason jar and just bottle that up, like, for Wednesday when I need a pick-me-up,
Yeah, man.
Don't they do that in the South? They put that energy in a mason jar?
Yeah, pretty much. White lightning.
Yeah, I was at, saw Bad Cop with the Interrupters. And, I hear you, man. Like, I mean, I didn't get home until 3 a.m., and usually I'm in bed at like 8:30. But yeah, I did notice, like, how much different it is nowadays than it was when I was a kid. Like, even just, like, we'd, like, stop at Subway and grab some subs and just drive to the show and, like, smoke weed in the car the whole time and then pound the subs, or I remember when I was 16, I worked at Arby's, and we used to go there and get the discount. They actually had really good Italian subs at Arby's, and we used to get those, and I'd get the like 50% off discount, and same deal. But now it's like, we're going to get there real early. We're going to find a restaurant nearby, get a nice sit down dinner.
Yeah, man. There's got to be a restaurant there, or it's got to be a place with good food, hopefully.
Yeah, and no more going out after the show, getting tacos and having heartburn for fucking 2 days. That is one thing I could not handle anymore, man.
Yeah, man. I did that about 2-3 years ago, and that was the last time I'll do it. I was out, it's like 2:30 in the morning, I'm hanging out with my buddy Dan, I'm just like, dude, we got to get the hell out of here. What the fuck are we doing? And it was like a week before I really got my head back straight. I can't do it like I used to, man. I went and saw The Living End. My buddies in Ryan's Hope opened for The Living End in Chicago it was the night before the election, and we had a blast, and it was a late night, and we went to had lunch, had some food at a nice restaurant before that, and then we went out, and I saw a bunch of my old friends, and I was drinking double IPAs all night and blacked out, and Sheena said I was a good conversation piece on the way home when she drove. I don't remember any of it. So, and I don't think we stayed till the end. I think I got dragged out of there because I was too drunk.
Wow.
That's nice, dude. Yeah, 3 double IPAs will get you, man. They're so good, though, but fuck, they'll get you.
Yeah, like this doesn't taste very boozy, and they're all just 11% tall boys, and I grabbed like 3 of them. So, yeah, it was a rough night. So, but it was fun, and the Living End still just ripped.
That's killer. Hey, what were some of the shitty things that you would drink back in the day before a show? My go-to used to be a little thing of pop-off vodka, like a little 200, 375, depending on how crazy I want to get, and a chaser of Cactus Cooler, which I still have trouble drinking Cactus Cooler down to this day. So,
fucking Cisco. You ever drink Cisco? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the nastiest shit. It's even nastier coming back up, and it always does.
We used to drink a lot of Mickeys, a lot of Dr. McGillicuddy's, and occasionally, if we had some extra money, we'd get some Aftershock or some Avalanche because we thought we were fancy when we would drink that. So, but yeah, it was a lot of Dr. McGillicuddy's and PBR and Mickey's. So just the trifecta of good, tasty, healthy drinks.
Milwaukee's Best was always what we could find. That was like the cheapest. You get a case of somebody's older brother buy you a case of Milwaukee's Best, and you bury it in the trunk somewhere so it's warm whenever you get to the show to drink it. In the parking lot, because you don't want to get pulled over and a cop see there's a can of beer in the car, so you bury it under blankets and shit.
And warm beer burps are the worst. They're like you feel like you turned into Barney from The Simpsons, dude. It's fucking crazy. But dude, I will say that fuck Mickey's blew it, man. They don't do the wide mouth anymore, right? The 40-ounce wide mouth.
No, man, those were the best.
Those were the best, especially. Remember when they used to have the twist-off caps? It would be like these little witty puns underneath.
It would say shit. Yeah. It was like clever sayings. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it, man.
Like,
Mickey's.
oh god, this is hilarious.
Yep. I mean, it was always like, tell me. I was like, I'm like, okay, this is a joke I'm going to tell later, and then I'd forget it. But and then Milwaukee's best was always the joke because it was so bad. And we're always like, this is the best you could do, Milwaukee. Fuck you.
I hate to try their worst, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good times, man. But yeah, it's a little different, and also just what our intentions were. Like, my intentions for the night now are very different than when I was, in my early 20s. There was a couple buddies of mine, we used to go to shows when we were in our early 20s, because back then it was very easy to go out and find some Nazis. There were always skinheads around, and so we would go to try and pick fights with them. Like, we would go looking for them. So needless to say, it's a little bit different now. And when I say Nazi, I meant alt-right. And I'm sure, all those guys have cabinet positions in Trump's administration now. But yeah, we would go out with the intention of going to fight skinheads. As stupid as that sounds, but that's where we were at the age of 22. And I look back on it now, I'm like, that was probably a really bad idea. We could have got hurt pretty bad.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, those dudes. I've been to a couple shows with skinheads, and they just fucking they're strength in numbers. That's how they fucking can get be at a show and not be bothered. But man, I got popped in the mouth once at a street dog show, and I was gonna go after the guy, and he backs into his crowd. He's a big fat fuck, and he's just doing the Heil Hitler sign at me in the pit, and his buddies were kind of coming behind. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. If I go in after this one guy, I'm getting jumped.
Totally.
Yep. Yeah, there was a lot of that back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's pretty much, I don't see it anymore, which is good, because now they don't go to shows. Now they just they're on Fox News. But yeah, they used to be back, and there'd always be 2 or 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Well, so it's probably more they've like you said, there's strength in numbers. So there's a bunch of them would go, but now there's more people that are against them. So now they just don't go to the shows that we go to, and they go to their what was that fucking band? The Screwdriver. Yeah, Screwdriver shows, and
When the way we used to get them back in the day, whenever we'd see them, we'd always walk up to them and be like, "Hey man, so you must be a huge Propaganda fan," and they'd get so pissed off. They would immediately just shut. Don't listen to that fucking liberal bullshit. Yeah, that's like, if you ever want to piss off a Nazi punk, just be like, dude, so you heard that new Propaganda? They'll go from 0 to 10 real fast. Well, we used to see a lot of the non-racist skinheads go after them. We started seeing the skinheads come in and go after the other skinheads, which was weird. Like, all these subcultures were, because we couldn't tell the difference unless we saw the front of their T-shirts.
Yeah.
So that was real weird, but I don't see that anymore, which is good. I'm way too old to be dealing with that crap. I just go have some beers with my friends, and get some onion rings.
I don't eat at shows. I don't eat. I mean, I never did before, but I definitely don't now. Like, I've seen some clubs that are big name clubs in DC, like the 930 Club and the Black Cat, and I've seen the food come out, and that is the nastiest looking shit in the world. No, there's plenty of restaurants around. I'll hit one of those up. But
there's a couple places that I go to, like the Beat Kitchen in Chicago, that has really good food. But most places are just like pretzels and beer. Mm-hmm. I'll go get food before the show, or back in the day we go get tacos afterwards. But yeah, I'm really not there for that.
We always used to go to this place in it's Pittsburgh area called Eaton Park, and it's basically like a Denny's. Type place, or like Bob Evans, IHOP. What the hell? We always would end up there at the end of the night after the show, and you can get anything, anytime, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it'd be 2 a.m, and we'd all just be chilling there. I'd always get the breakfast smile, 2 eggs, bacon, toast. And we just hang out there and talk about
the show. That's the best food in the middle of the night, man.
Yep.
That's the best food in the middle of the night. Oh, the good old days when I wasn't being like, "Whoa, it's 9 o'clock. I'm kind of tired. I think I need to go to bed."
Well, and do you guys when I was younger, I never really ever showed up for the any of the openers. Really, now I'm.
Yeah,
I like to get there when the doors open. I don't know why.
Me too. I want to go because I was talking about this with the wife, my wife. I was talking about this the other night. When we go out places, whether it's a show or a party or a restaurant, whatever, we love showing up and it's dead.
Yeah.
Love it. There's like nobody in there. Like, oh fuck, we can sit where we want. We can go stand over here. So I like to go before the doors open or to see the opening band because we can stake out a spot. We can get a nice table. A lot of times, my friends are the opening band, so I kind of got to support them. So there's a lot of that going on. So yeah, I don't like when I'm packed in somewhere. I don't like it, man. So I like to go early and stake out my territory before the kids show up.
And I think like 9 times out of 10, I want to see the opening band more than I want to see the headliner.
Well, you know what though too? I think the tours have gotten a lot better because, like you said, you just saw the Interrupters and Bad Cop was on that, and who else was on that bill? Anybody else?
Yeah, there was another band. I can't remember the name. I think it was a local band. They weren't that.
Well, that tour just came through here, and Left Alone was on that tour. So Left Alone, Bad Cop, and Interrupters. I mean, those are 3 solid bands that can each headline. So I just think the quality of shows has gotten better because there's more good bands out there, So it's not like back in the day when you'd see Bad Religion, you're like, who the fuck's opening up for Bad Religion? It was like kind of a nobody or a band that fizzled out or just,
Yeah.
I don't remember going back in the day and like seeing too many shows with like stacked bills, unless it was like a festival.
Yeah.
A lot of my favorite bands are bands that I got into because I saw them open for somebody else. When I was a kid, I saw the Vandals open for The Offspring, and I was like, holy shit, this band is awesome. And ever since then, since 1996, the Vandals have been one of my favorite bands. I saw Masked Intruder open for Teenage Bottle Rocket long before I'd ever heard of them. Like, long before I ever heard of them. And it's great. If you go early, you can go and you can get a prime spot of seeing some cool bands, man.
Absolutely, and usually hang out with them afterwards too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a long time ago, I went and saw Bad Religion at the Palladium, and a little band that I'd never heard of called Rise Against opened for them, and that was kind of my.
Remember that tour? I think it was 2004, 2005. I think that was the tour that Bad Religion came out with the documentary or the live DVD.
That was the show. I was at that show.
Yeah. That was I love that DVD, man. That's so great.
That was filmed at the Palladium. Yeah, that was the CD with Los Angeles Burning and shit like that. That was that tour.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's right. I saw Rise Against open for Tiger Army, and I already knew who Rise Against was, but it was a lot of the other kids there hadn't heard of them yet, and that was a great show.
You know what's funny? I told you guys this before, which I went to the Summer Nationals show in Pittsburgh. 2 summers ago?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
And the Vandals, it was the Vandals opening, then Pennywise and Bad Religion, and then the Offspring. And I'm not a big Offspring fan. I never really was. So I was actually leaving before Offspring came out, and there were like people coming in. It's like, you guys just missed Bad Religion, Pennywise, and the Vandals. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
What are you doing? How much did you pay for these tickets?
Unfortunately, our scene does have a lot of posers when it gets to that level. Like, dude, how fucking Offspring was influenced by fucking Pennywise and Bad Religion. Like how do you? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the big shows and festivals are I'm not. Going into. I'm the old man, back in my day. But, I mean, I've so outgrown Warped Tour. And I like to go to Riot Fest, but, man, it's getting so big, man. I just, as our friend Dan Vapid, he called Warped Tour, he called it the Walmart of punk rock. So it's at a certain, I mean, it's not about the size, really. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. I want to see a bunch of bands, but eventually...
That's my yearly reminder that I'm old. Like, when I see the lineup come out for Vans Warped Tour, it's like, I know like 3 bands on
I know, I always like doing that. I was trying to figure it out. Is it really going to be worth going? No, there are 2 people on this bill.
There was one year, I think
they're all playing at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. The last year I went to Warped Tour, it's probably 10 years ago now, but my buddy Bill and I were walking around, and it was the first time that I ever was walking past the stage and I saw a band playing, and I got the impression that I was older than them. And I was walking past and I saw Sum 41 playing, and I'm like, I am older than those people. Those people are younger than me. So that was kind of a weird turning point for me. And also my buddy Bill, he turns to me and he goes, dude, we got to get out of here. There's way too many young boobs walking around. And he was right. Because I was like, we can't look around at these girls. We're going to go to jail. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, we never went back. But Riot Fest still keeps it real, man. You still get, like, the Replacements or the Misfits or, the Violent Femmes or Dinosaur Jr. You still get some pretty damn good bands. You know, the kids are not going to come out to see The Cure. You know, they're not going to come out to see the Misfits. Well, they might come out to see the Misfits, but generally speaking, Riot Fest still gives the older folks with some stuff that they want. Nice.
We got this guy from McClintock Distilling. It's a distilling company that just opened in downtown Frederick, Maryland. So listen to some music if you guys have something you'd like to play.
I don't.
Steve, you got something you'd like to send us off to?
I came strong with 2 songs, but didn't pick a third.
I got some here. Let me... let's listen. I'm going to keep it some old school like I did with Fear, and we're going to listen to the Spits with All I Want on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
Woo!
Hey, this is Joey Cape, and you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, and I have to drive tonight. Uh-oh.
Let's go.
And that was the Real Mackenzies with 10,000 Shots, and you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. And speaking of shots, I am here with Braden Bumpers of McClintock Distillery in Frederick, Maryland. How you doing, Braden?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. We love our booze. So talking to somebody who makes it is definitely a good thing for us. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in this entire process of opening this distillery?
Sure. So we're about 5 years in the making into this business. Me and my business partner both come from brewing, so a lot of the process is pretty similar throughout the fermentation process. But what we really wanted to do was distillation. So it took us a while to put the business together. We both did work studies up at distilleries in Chicago and New York to kind of get distilling under our belt. And now we've been in this building for about a year. And now the construction is over and we're finally in production. We're really excited about the products that we have out there right now.
And speaking of the products, what products do you make currently?
So we have the Epiphany Vodka, which is a vodka from organic Northern Italian white wheat. We also have our Maryland Heritage White Whiskey, which is a rye-based whiskey, which is what Maryland used to be known for making in big quantities. And we also have our Forager Gin, which is a vapor-infused New American-style gin.
Yeah, speaking of that gin, the process you were explaining earlier about how the process works, that you've got what did you call it, a gin basket?
Gin basket, yes.
Please explain to our listeners the process of making the gin, at least to get the flavor in there.
Sure. So most distilleries will do what's called bathtub gin or maceration, and what that involves is taking high-proof alcohol, like basically vodka, and chopping up a bunch of juniper and other botanicals and putting it into the high-proof alcohol and letting it sit there for about a day or two before they distill the whole thing over through the system. And what we did is we didn't like that the juniper is so oversaturated in most gins that are out there. So we have a basket that actually picks up the botanicals as a vapor at the end of our production run. So we were able to use a little bit lighter botanicals. It's got some really interesting citrus notes as well as notes on it too.
Yeah, it does. It has a nice, it's like an orange finish to it, which is, and it isn't very strong with the juniper flavor, which is nice. Unless you really like juniper, but no, it's definitely different. It was really tasty. Now, as the process goes, you basically, for the gin, the vodka, and the whiskey, it's the same process until what point?
The biggest difference would be the proof at which we distill it through. So our vodka, we activate all 8 of our plate filters. We dial down our deflegmator, without getting too nerdy, down to a really low volume. So we can get up to about 95% alcohol off the still. And that's the premise of vodka, is to distill out any flavor or characteristic as you produce it. Whereas the whiskey, we use a slightly different mash bill for the base, and we only turn on about 2 of the plate filters, so it's coming off about 79 to 80% alcohol. And the gin is the same thing as the vodka, except for we pass it through that vapor basket.
And then to bring the alcohol level down, what do you cut it with? Just distilled water, or is there a...
We have a reverse osmosis filtration system that we gather water through and then blend it down. Reverse osmosis just cleans and purifies the water pretty much to 99.99% purity, pure H2O.
And then you've got, copper plays a huge part in the entire process. What you were saying something about the banana flavor in Kentucky Gentleman. Can you get scientific on us here and explain what that's all about?
If you want to go scientific, so there's a volatile chemical that is produced throughout the fermentation process called dimethyl trisulfide, and it's a pretty sour, bitter taste that you might taste some in cheaper plastic handle products that are out there. I won't name any names. What causes that is if there's no copper or they distill it too fast, all of that just goes straight over into the product. We opted to go with a system with a lot of copper, both in the still and the column, because dimethyl trisulfides bond to copper. So the more copper you have, the more space it has to bond to it, and it keeps more of it out of the product. So we have very little, if any, coming through to our final stuff.
And please, could you explain the heads and the hearts and the tails of the entire distilling process?
Sure. So for all of the products, it comes off at different temperatures. As we distill, we continually increase the temperature to extract all of the alcohol out. So we start out at a relatively low temperature when it comes over, and that's going to have a lot of volatile chemicals, some acetone in it. That's the first stuff to come over. It's about 7 liters or so, and that stuff is really bad. We use it for cleaning here. Great floor polish, and it cleans up the machine pretty nicely. And then the next part that we collect is the hearts, and that's going to be the product that we'll be selling. It's got really nice flavor. It's got nice ABV content, exactly what we're looking for, and it's got the correct profile of what we're looking for. And the last cut we make is the tails. That's the last stuff to come off. We generally see a more grainy, earthy taste to it, and a lower ABV, and we save that and redistill that, and we will be using that as the base for our gin and vodka.
So basically, the hearts would be the white whiskey, just as it is?
Pretty much. We just blend it down and filter it, and that's the product.
And what do you blend it with?
Just water.
Just the water?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were saying that you've got some bourbon going?
Yes. Yes. We have a big 30-gallon barrel of bourbon and 30-gallon barrel of rye that we're just starting now. It should be ready in about 2 to 3 years, unfortunately. We tried some of the shortcuts to quick cheat time, and there's really no way around it.
Well, mark your calendars, people. 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3
Get
years.
some bourbon and some rye. So what do you do with the leftover mash once it's all been cooked down? And
Sure. So we have very little waste here. So we keep all of our mash. We pump it into totes, and we actually have a farmer come down and pick it up about twice a week, and he feeds it to his cows and pigs. He actually just called us last week to ask why his cows ran about 4 acres across the field when he saw the totes, and it's because we still have about 1.5% alcohol content left in the mash when we send it out to him.
That's good. That's good cow right
drunk
there.
Cows on hands.
Isn't that how they make like that Wagyu beef or whatever?
That's right.
Kobe beef.
Right.
Yeah. So you just opened. What's in the mindset for the future? What's the plan?
So we're going to be looking to be in a lot of local Maryland and DC stores over the next year. For right now, all 3 of our core products are available for sale from our tasting room, and we're also going to be doing a lot of small batch experimental stuff over the next few months. One that I can tell you about that I'm very excited is going to be a barrel-aged gin, which is a pretty new product out there on the market. I personally love gin and whiskey, and it's a great blend of that. So Tyler and I, mostly out of lack of attention span, like to do a lot of experimentation and some really interesting stuff.
And Tyler is your partner,
yes,
and the
Tyler,
other distiller.
Yep.
And your background and his background are different but the same.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So I studied environmental science and then went on to pursue the business field after I graduated. And Tyler studied business and then went on to pursue an environmental field after he graduated. But a lot of the stuff, like the biology and the chemistry behind this kind of stuff, we both have a little bit of background in, so it made it easier for us to switch over.
So, as far as the distillery and the tasting room goes, I know you don't have a license to pour drinks and sell drinks to people.
That's correct.
Is that a possibility in the future? Or?
It's looking like a strong possibility. We have a text amendment with the state that will hopefully be looked at sometime in the next few months. It was proposed last session, but they just didn't have time to vote on it. But it seems to have not very much pushback so far. It's just a common sense thing that just needs to be put through.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great, bringing money to the area, and, who can complain, other than some moms that don't want their kids drinking, which is understandable. But, hey, thanks a lot for talking with us. It's McClintock Distilling. Where did you get the name for McClintock Distilling, since your last name is Bumper's not McClintock?
Yes, so McClintock, neither of our names are McClintock. We are named after McClintock Young, who was a Frederick resident in the early 1800s. He was an inventor. He invented some pieces on the velocipede, which is that bike with the huge front wheel on it, as well as he has 150 patents. And Tyler's family inherited some land up by Gambrel Mountain, and we went out there and found a shack out there, popped open the door, and we found about 60 original patents signed by McClintock Young. We had never heard of him before, but that was right about the time when we were brainstorming the distillery, so it kind of all fit together nicely, and we thought we'd bring his spirit of innovation to downtown Frederick the way that we think would make him proud.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it's a beautiful place, a lot of space, so I can definitely see some things happening here. And the booze is delicious. So if you're ever in Frederick, Maryland, and is the tasting room going to be open on a regular basis? Or?
Yeah, Thursday and Fridays from 4 to 8, and Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 8.
And stop on in. It's right along Carroll Creek, right? I mean, it's a happening area. Mm-hmm. So you've got to come on, stop on by. Good booze. Pick up a bottle. I got a bottle of white whiskey in my bag right now. So thanks a lot, Braden, for talking with us.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And we will leave you with a little bit more Real Mackenzie. This is Scotch Whiskey on Punk Rock Foodies Radio. All right, awesome.
I love that segue. That's a great song to say, right?
Whiskey until the dead die.
on Skate Rad, I'd like to thank Braden of McClintock Distilling. Go check them out if you're in Frederick, Maryland. They're at 35 Carroll Street, right there along the Carroll Creek area. They got white whiskey, gin, and vodka, and in a couple of years you can get some nice rye and bourbon there. We'd like to thank the people here at the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. Check out Burning Road Studios for all your video and graphic needs. Check out Betty Gear on Facebook. And while you're on Facebook, come on over to Punk Rock Foodies. 4,800 members and growing. Very simple. Make food, post a pic. Come on, make the kitchen great again. Donate to it, everyone.
Is it based on that John what's his face movie? John Holmes.